Alright there, my name's Ragtag, the greatest gutter tier gamer on the face of this earth, and it has finally happened, guys. I hired a Fiverr Apex Legends Pro coach, and normally when you see a video like this, the YouTuber will, pretend to be bad and then bamboozle the coach with their amazing skill because it's just their first time play. No, it's not going to be like that. Because I don't have any amazing skill to bamboozle the coach. I'm amazingly average. That's all I've got to offer. So this is going to be a lot more straightforward in terms of the coaching. I have added my own little personal Ragtag touch to it, so it's not, completely just analysis, which is what you would get, by the way. This coach is very, very thorough indeed. This is, footage analysis and fundamental explanations, but I convinced him to go off script and not coach me, but just play with me for a bit, just for the content. But that is not what you would get if you hired this guy. So let's just start with that, because I really wanted this guy to get an experience, the Ragtag experience.
Oh, that guy's one dead. Two guys here. Okay. We can just hold their guys one. Octane is one. That guy's blue, careful, I almost cracked him. One more.
He's got a gold res shield. I think there's fighting in Turbine, maybe? Or is that Estates?
It's over here, this direction. They're fighting in like docks area, or like the power grid, I think.
Will that work?
1 minute before the
come on.
Yeah. Wait. Wow, that's a shortcut.
Wait. This is gonna work.
That's a good shortcut. I need to, can you teach me how to do that?
I'll be there. Oh my god. Wait. Oh, coach. Oh, wait for me, coach. I'll be there. There we go. I made it.
I'm waiting. You coming?
I'm here. I'm here. Who wants some? I'm ready. I got something for you all. Yeah. Yeah.
Easy.
Right here.
Oh, you're low for a bit there. It's 1 AP. Literally 1 AP.
Oh, there's an Octane here underneath you. Behind. He's coming up on the stairs.
Oh. I hear him. Crack.
My positioning is garbage.
Good. You realize. Perfect.
Get out of my face.
Easy.
When 1 HP, it's always easy.
I think they should be over there somewhere.
I'm the magnet. Come and get some. What? Why are they shooting behind you to get to me, dude? What? There's someone else.
It's looking. No. They're revolting.
Okay.
I'm running. Make the portal. Are you able to take my portal?
Nope.
Okay. Right here. Take the roof. Yeah.
Yeah.
Healing.
Yeah.
And then we're... Oi. Dead? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Next. Any more? Yes.
Yeah, there's one more customer.
Need armor. Okay, I get white armor.
Well, how's that feel? Reminds me of another game.
No. Okay, below us as well.
I just sacrificed my positioning like an absolute champ.
Hold the roof.
Oh my god! What is that? Dude, I don't want to talk about it, and you're not allowed to watch this bit. Or that bit. I'm sure you're doing well. Look.
Recharging my shields.
Care. I'm not with you. I dropped. I dropped.
Can we just have a little therapy meeting right now?
Just sip. Can you sip the roof?
Yeah.
Sit. I need the roof. Let's go.
Frag out.
No, one guy. 1 HP on this guy.
Yeah, Oh my god. No. Dude, I can't. Oh no. Alright, so before we go into the actual coaching now, let me just say a couple of words about my Fiverr coach. His name is Shulkin. We had, I think, around 4 hours of coaching, so I have condensed and missed out a lot of the stuff. There's a lot of detail that is covered here. If you take a look at this this sheet, if you like, this is like a cheat sheet, a short version of everything that he has to say about the basics and the fundamentals, and they kind of increase in terms of depth. So if you look at the top one, position goes to cover, then you see vertical, horizontal, zone out, 1v1 and the head glitch and all that. Basically, as you move along each of these elements, this is higher levels of play, and it looks quite simple, but as he started to explain it all, I started to really sort of think, oh yeah, I don't know anything about this game after all. So basically today you're going to hear mostly a lot of talk about positioning, cover, and strafing. That's basically what I've tried to hone in on, and you will see him analyze my gameplay, and we're going to do some strengths and weaknesses. And then for all you comment coaches, you know who you are. The people that say, you didn't use this here. Oh, why didn't you pick that up? You're going to love this. This is literally going to be a Turkish delight for you. You're going to have the best time of your life hearing me get ripped apart with all my mistakes. So one thing I want to quickly say is that Shulkin, is that how you say it? I don't know, that's his name. He draws on the screen a lot of my Twitch VOD that I showed him, and something that got explained quite in a lot of detail, I would say, is to do with the different types of cover that there are. So basically, if you're using a door and you're opening and closing the door, that is classed as vertical cover, and if you're on a high ground or a ramp or whatever and you're standing at the top of it, that is the horizontal cover. I'm only mentioning that now so that you can kind of understand, because that's what gets gone into later on. Alright, so without any further ado, let's get on with the coaching.
In terms of your whole skill set, just tell me what you feel like you're good at compared to what you're bad at. And that is totally relative to your skill set, right?
What am I good at?
Exactly.
It's a short list, you know. Okay, I think I've got a reasonable handle on enemy mindset. Some long-range combat I think I'm okay at, like Kraber. I've got a good positive mindset, like I don't give up easy, so I don't, I don't give in to despair in bad situations. I don't really know if it's a pro, but once momentum has been gathered in whatever area of the game it is, I get really good results, even against players that are much, much better than me. So I have the ability to gather momentum, and this is where people start to question whether or not I'm playing at being an average, gamer or not. Once I'm in flow state, whatever that may be,
Sure.
yeah, the results are just, they show a lot of potential.
So if we should fill out some of like your weaknesses as a player that you feel like you're kind of not in full control of, what would you place it?
I call myself consistently inconsistent. This is the most true thing about my entire skill set. So consistently inconsistent is basically, it runs through everything I do, from dynamic movement to decision making. They're almost like you would think that I should learn a lesson that has been learned many times, and then I go and commit the worst mistake possible. You know that when you're playing door games with someone, and I don't know, you go to kick the door, and there's maybe 2 people in there, and you shouldn't kick that door a second time, but you do it anyway, and then you get mastiff in the face. Those are the mistakes that I'm like, by now, so it's that sort of thing that happens a lot. I still don't get the footsteps in this game. When I play with people like Shiv, he seems to know exactly where they are.
So would you say at that point right there is like awareness then?
Yeah, awareness, enemy awareness. What's another weakness of mine? Team comms, really weak at that. I tend not to speak in ranked. I could speak up more, definitely, but I've had people in stream say, why didn't you call out that guy that was behind your wraith? And I was thinking, well, you should have seen him, So okay. I let people deal with their game most of the time, but yeah, it's bad comms for sure.
I think it's like too much comms can also be bad comms, to say it like that. So you're not calling out every single element is also not specifically a weakness. You need to balance it to the situation that is required, right?
Yeah,
If you're calling out like Wraith walking up the stairs, low HP, blue armor,
Yeah.
decent death weapon.
Yeah, I
it's
just
gonna be
say,
too much.
I only say if I've cracked someone. Usually, I'll just say Wraith cracked or Wraith low.
That is usually what forms a good team, really. It's like having that unspoken team comm. Like, you know how your teammate plays, and therefore you don't need to communicate everything.
Yeah, I solo queue a lot of the time.
Yeah, because dealing with randoms is straight up a random, right?
Yeah.
If you make a call out, you don't know if they're listening, they're sitting there playing with their music on full volume, if they even have a headset, right?
The single tap fire guns, I am beyond useless at, Wingman. Yeah, Scout. Just the repeater, I may as well just use my fists. You know, it's I can't do it.
How would you say that this and this kind of fetch together, though? Because they're kind of contradicting each other a bit.
I think when I'm at closer range so close to medium range, I'm being shot at and feeling pressure more when I'm in single fire and my aim is getting rattled. I expect. So I think maybe if I'm not being shot at, I don't know, maybe the aim is going to be better. I haven't sat and thought about it too much.
Sure, what you're specifically mentioning right there is actually a element that barely no one talks about, really. Is that when you are getting shot at, it's when you're actually getting shot at with an armor. We can go into the practice range after this, and we can showcase some of the elements right there, but we can go into that as well. Due to this, it affects how we land, or how we should be thinking about how we land in the game here.
This is where I don't even look around as jump master. Go on. I just dive on this place probably. Right.
I mean, that is the second step. The first step is to actually know where the locations are.
Yeah.
So the easiest way I would say is just to basically cut your map in half and focus on the first part. It's like, okay, our landing rotation, our landing points right here is probably right here, maybe over here, here. Yeah. These areas right here would most likely be our landing spots, maybe here. I wouldn't even go here. I would probably go to even those 3 spots right there. And that's how it should work in every play. You just cut the map in half and you find the kind of main locations and you go in there. Like if you are landing, let's say here, you can land here and then rotate quickly into here, right? It's like this, so somewhat okay drop, I would say. It's like kind of stupid to go in here because you have no control when you come out there.
Yeah.
It's just a show. So luckily there were no one behind you. Teammates gets slapped outside here. Like right now, it's like we're asking ourselves mainly this question right here, like right weapon to right situation, just to be asking ourselves. I know that you cannot effectively enable these weapons to the best degree, but you should just know that, okay, I have a scout and a sentinel. Those weapons are not good in close range.
They're not. I think I equipped the sentinel knowing that I was going to replace that first. Yeah. That was mine.
That's a bit better.
Oh my god. I don't know if this is typical gameplay. I hit a shot. Oh no.
Okay. So let's break down the elements that you're actually doing here in your fight. Which is right here. We are... Okay, we're holding a Spitfire. We know that the Spitfire is in this category, LMG, which is a slow-moving weapon if we ADS with it, so you by instinct hip-fire it. It's good. Then we can move over to your strafe. Your strafe is, you are moving, but you're not horizontal. You're moving like this into it, right?
Yeah, I was following him down the doorway.
Yeah, so we're struggling a bit with this, and I see that is a consistency a bit down the line there as well. So we're kind of failing a bit on this, but we are moving at least. So this needs to be consistent. Always when we shoot him, we only want to be moving left and right. And then if we take it from the top here first, we have no position because there's no cover, and therefore the whole line breaks behind it. You're giving him the chance of playing the corner basically because he is closest to it when we are here. So he is closest to the cover, but he is overpeaking like crazy.
Yeah.
but he is closest to the vertical cover. So he controls it. He could strafe in and out here and keep full control. You have no cover. So therefore, that's how I'm saying no position, because you have no cover, and therefore everything else breaks. Strafing stops at the optimal optimization of just moving. Everything else stops. Gun control, right weapon to right situation. We're doing the best as we can on this. So I would say that this is correct in this situation. Right use of ADS is also correct, because you're hip firing your LMG in close range. Recoil doesn't matter once we hip fire. Hitting enough shots is just a last point of like, if we're hitting enough, we're asking ourselves if we're hitting enough shots in that situation. It's like, should I possibly have been hitting more shots there? And I would definitely say that you are hitting enough shots in that situation. That is probably what is saving the whole effectiveness of this play right there. If you're missing your shots, that would ruin your whole play right there, because you have no defensive. We're sacrificing a lot of our defensive with an optimal weapon, an optimal strafing, and an optimal positional play. A guy that actually plays the angle, doesn't overpeak, and hits his shots and strafe optimally, you would lose here, right? Because it's very easy to hit you when you move like this.
Yeah.
You make it as easy as possible for you as well when you make that move, but you have to find a balance. You should be seeking more defensive, basically. Your aim becomes a lot harder to move or to control when you are doing this left and right movement, but you need to build that in as a muscle memory to just try to make your aim work around that. Because right here, you are actually pushing forward. You're moving like that. You're holding like A and W at the same time. You're holding W at the same time as you're doing this, because you move forward, right?
Yeah, I just thought he doesn't focus me, I'll, move in and...
Yeah, that goes to tell your instinct tells you to just... It's not built upon just pressing A and D when you're shooting, and that's how it should be. It should just always be, when I'm shooting, I'm just pressing A and D. There's never a reason to hold W, to say it like that. You're just sacrificing efficiency in terms of your effectiveness. Sorry. Right here. See how that walks up to this. We see this, guys. Okay. Right. I can already tell what the main factors in your gameplay, like what the main problem areas are.
No strafe. I can see it. Yeah.
And but now you see it, right? Because you've broken down all the elements and how it should be optimally done.
Yeah.
And you see that those two core elements that you're misplaying is position and strafing. Strafing usually stops at just moving. We are struggling a bit with moving horizontal. Positional play, we're leaving the potential position that we have, which is the cover. So it stops right there. We don't reach the cover, so we don't have position. We have potentially position, but you're just walking over it. Because right here, to break down the positional plays, is running out here. So what cover types do we have right now? So therefore, we should be zoning people out here. You see, you actually do it to some degree here in the first, but right now we are peeking 2. Right? And it's fair enough that he is not shooting back, but our instinct should always be to use that line to separate them, to zone this guy out with the cover, and then to shoot him.
Right.
That's the proper way of using these types of cover. With the explanation of this, okay? We got cover, we got vertical, we should be zoning people out, forcing that 1v1. What we effectively see on the screen here is not a 1v1, it's potentially a 2 versus 1. It is effectively a 1 versus 1, but it's potentially a 2 versus 1.
What did I do here?
So you overpeak and then you correct yourself.
Right.
That is the good thing that you do right here. Then you use this to reload, which is the proper way of using just basic cover. Using that cover to reload was good. Then you walk out here, and then we see another potential use of cover. What type of cover do you have now?
Horizontal.
In the forms of this, right? This is too low to get to use, at least from your angle, so this is probably your main area of cover. But we're walking way too far up to it. So you see that if we actually are able to spot it, we would use it like this. From basically, if we moved over here, then this line right here would become here. then we will be head glitching. Since the cover line is horizontal, we can head glitch from this line to that enemy that we're shooting at right here.
Right.
That's the skill aspect of actually seeing as many potential covers as possible. One thing is to play the obvious and to just like, okay, high grounds and ramps. Then you need to see like rocks, potential like stuff like this, right? It's pretty high level of cover usage to be able to spot this and use this instantly. It's that you run straight past it and you stand in open and you strafe unoptimally. You strafe kind of like this.
So from what you've seen, do you see potential? Like, do you see the... I know my learning is going to really make the difference, but do you see, you know, the possibility for me to sorting this out and going up the tiers a bit?
No.
Oh. Guys, he's only kidding. He thinks I've got loads of potential. I'm going to be a pred in no time. Right, so look, I really recommend this coach. I think he's extremely thorough and there was so much information covered. All I've tried to do is cherry pick some of the stuff I thought you might find useful and interesting, but really there is a lot more to it. And honestly, I'm quite interested in analyzing my own gameplay after a few hours of this coaching, but I don't think we're done by a long shot. If this was an interesting video for you, please leave a comment below. Let me know if you'd like to see more of it. I've actually got a few more hours of footage that we can comb through, and maybe I could do some more coaching with him, you know, as well, and you know, there could be a series, who knows. Alright, so if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and all the usual. Catch you in the next one. Oh, screw this, I'm gone, bye.